Thank you to the three of you for coming out and sharing your thoughts here on what we can do to be helping Americans when it comes to retirement. Yesterday, I gave some remarks on the floor of the Senate talking about how my father was recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It has been extraordinarily difficult, not just to see my father in that kind of condition, but also it has been financially catastrophic for our family. Not just for me, for millions of others that are experiencing it. 7 million people with Alzheimer's, tens of millions of family members. The out-of-pocket costs are unbelievable and outrageous. Oftentimes, $12,000, $15,000 a year just for a room for my father in terms of getting care, let alone all the other challenges that we're seeing. It has now affected my ability to save, my sister's abilities to save for our own retirement. We're reducing that. It's affected my ability to save for my kids in terms of their 529s. Is having multiple generational impact. And Mr. Williams, I guess I just wanted to get a sense from you what we should be thinking on this front. Like, what do you tell your clients who are thinking about planning for long-term care costs? How does that factor in when we're thinking about their retirement security?
Senator Kim, I am so sorry to hear that your family is going through that, and I empathize with you. It's an experience that many of my clients experience on a daily basis. I encourage clients to make in their financial plan long-term care and healthcare planning a critical component of their financial plan. And I think to ignore that does a disservice to them in retirement planning. So in my practice, what I'll often do is encourage them to take advantage of any available tools that they have, which can include, but not limited to HSAs, et cetera, in saving on the side, long-term care products, and self-insuring as well. But I think the key here in overcoming the cost of that and having enough resources is to start saving early, which is exactly why we support the Helping Young Americans Save for Retirement Act and the Auto Re-Enroll Act. In many times when I create a financial plan, we'll let the investor and client make the choice on how they want to receive that care. To your earlier point, some clients prefer a nursing home, a private nursing home, or a home health aide. And that's not always an option for everybody and the people that I work with. But we want to let our clients decide and make appropriate resources available to be able to do that in an early start.
Yeah, no, look, I think we need to be thinking about how we can have that kind of conversation and try to make sure that current retirement savings advice is fully considering the costs of health care, of long-term care. But I'll be honest, like my father, the cost that he's incurring, and no amount of him saving would have prepared for this moment. And I also find that, no one necessarily thinks that they're going to be the one that comes down with these types of debilitating illnesses and problems and injuries. So that's just something I hope this committee keeps in mind as we're looking to see how we can be able to be helpful to others. Mr. Fiesta, I want to bring you in on this. I mean, long-term care insurance is often considered to be complicated, problematic, unreliable. The number of long-term care insurance providers have fallen from over 100 to now less than a dozen. Even when people try to do what's right, they hit roadblocks. Given the high costs and limited options in the shrinking market, it's clear that families cannot depend on long-term care insurance alone, and structural policy solutions are needed. What can be done to address a broader problem of planning for long-term care and saving for retirement from a policy perspective? How do we support workers, caregivers, and their families?
Well, I don't think you can save your way into paying for long-term care over time during your work life or your own funds if you're in retirement. The numbers and the inflation just do not add up. And as you mentioned, maybe 3% of the population have some sort of private long-term care insurance. But what Washington state has done is they've enacted the first statewide long-term care insurance state-run program, which NICs, almost like unemployment insurance, 0.058% of your of a wage tax that goes into a fund. If you're in it for 10 years, then you're eligible to get, and this will grow with inflation, about $36,000 in long-term care benefits. And the state of Washington had a referendum to do away with it last year, and it was rejected overwhelmingly. So other states are looking at programs like that as well. But at some point, it becomes a national problem as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I hope that we were able to find real solutions here in a bipartisan way on this committee. And with that, I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Morkey.